Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, sometimes you get a fighter pull out of a contest and the replacement ends up making it a better fight. And I think that's pretty much happened with Joe Joyce, because Dillian Whyte injured his hand in training and pulled out of their contest, which is on April the 5th. It heads this sort of heavy card that's going to that Queensberry are running. But the replacement for Dillian Whyte is none other than Filip Hrgovic. And I've got to be honest, I'm really surprised that they've replaced Whyte with an opponent who's potentially so dangerous. Now, thinking about it, perhaps I shouldn't be surprised, because Joyce is, I think he's 39 now. And Frank Warren has always... Joyce has always been down the pecking order. I think he has a contract with Queensberry, and therefore Warren has to get him work. And the Whyte matchup is one where I would have thought Joyce would have started perhaps as the favourite, because Whyte's punch resistance seems to be shot to bits. But nevertheless, Whyte's still dangerous, very dangerous with a left hook. So you're thinking, okay, well, you know, Filip Hrgovic twice knocked out Joe Joyce, so perhaps Whyte will be able to get him out of there with the left hook. But I would have probably favoured Joyce to win that fight. Filip Hrgovic is a very different proposition, because he's only been beaten once, and that was June last year, when he got stopped in 8 rounds, TKO by Daniel Dubois. Now, Hrgovic has a fantastic chin. I mean, he really does. He hits hard with the right hand. He's got very good skills. He spent some years in that, what's that thing called? That sort of interim, halfway house, not the World Boxing or the World Series of Boxing or whatever it's called, where they're sort of semi-professional. And he actually fought Joyce during those years. That was between 2010 and 2015. Before he turned properly professional. And Hrgovic fought Joyce. In fact, he fought him at the York Hall, would you believe? And he beat him on points. It was Joyce won the fight. He beat Hrgovic on points, split decision, I think it was. And they're 5-rounders, by the way. So they've got a little bit of history, but when you consider that that Hrgovic, he's 32 years old now. Orthodox fighter, 6'6", like I say, a really incredible chin. And yeah, I mean, this is a good fight. This is dangerous stuff for Joe Joyce. I mean, this is. Would I pick? Do I think Joyce can knock out Hrgovic? To be honest with you, no. I don't, because I think Joyce is damaged goods. I think Hrgovic is too durable. I think he's too fresh. I know he got sort of chopped up by Dubois, but it wasn't exactly a terrible sort of one-way traffic defeat. He was landing his own right hands. And to be honest, Dubois took him very, very well. I was surprised at how well he took him. But I think Hrgovic also took that Dubois fight kind of lightly. I sort of joked in the past that he didn't even bother having his hair cut. He was very dismissive of Dubois before that fight. He went in there thinking, I'll beat him up. I've beaten him up in sparring before. And of course, he basically got his arse handed to him. Although a lot of people will say, well, there was a bit of free and easy use of the head from Dubois. I don't know. Yeah. But Hrgovic was halted with cuts above both eyes. And I don't think the referee called those punches. I think he called them headbutts. On the positive side for Joyce, when you look at Hrgovic, you do have to question whether he wants to be a boxer, because in the past, I mean, I know that his dad died, and that affected him a great deal. That was sort of common knowledge. And if you go back to 2022 and Zhilei Zhang, he sort of won a unanimous decision. And then he went 11 rounds with Dempsey McKean. That was the following year. And then he had one more fight, well, if you call it a fight, in 2023. That was against Mark Demore, which was a very predictable one-round blowout. And then the only fight he had last year was against Dubois. So there seems to be a sort of, not a reluctance, just a sort of hot and cold air about Hrgovic. You're not quite sure whether he actually wants to be a fighter. He doesn't give you the impression that, you know, he's there to really completely dedicate himself, and that you know, becoming heavyweight champion of the world is his ultimate goal. He seems to have other things on his mind, or maybe not. Maybe he just gives that impression, and it's a wrong impression. I don't know. I don't know. But he'll have to be pretty much on a good game against Joyce, because whatever you say about Joyce, he's still very big, very strong, very heavy. He's got those big cement-like punches. You know, like being hit by a sack of cement, slow, lumbering, walks you down constantly. But certainly if Hrgovic is able to use his boxing skills, I mean, I don't think there's any way in which Joyce can outbox Hrgovic. Hrgovic should be able to sort of, you know, jab, move, do the things that he was supposed to do against Dubois, instead of pretty much meeting him head on, and beat up Joyce. Having said that, Dubois showed that, you know, if you jump on Hrgovic, you can take away his boxing skills. I mean, you know, the old cliche jab with the jabber. Daniel Dubois has got a hell of a jab, very, very good jab, and he kind of took away that weapon from Hrgovic and was able to get close and beat him up and sort of roughhouse him. I mean, Hrgovic is a big guy, but he was kind of moved around a bit by Dubois, and I think Hrgovic thought he was just going to go in there, land on Daniel's chin, and Daniel was going to roll over. And when it didn't happen, he ended up being in a position where, oh my God, I'm in a fight now, and he had to sort of gut it out. And in the end, it was, you know, it was a negative as far as he was concerned. But against Joyce, I think Joyce is so slow, and that, you know, once considered to be a concrete chin has been cracked. I think what we'll see now is Hrgovic probably boxing and mixing in the right hand, landing enough of those right hands on Joe Joyce's chin to probably grind him down. This is a 12. Is it a 12 rounder? Or is it a 10 rounder? Might be a 10 rounder. I don't know yet. I'll have to have a look at that one. But I definitely think that Hrgovic starts as a big favourite in this fight. I would be surprised if Joyce won. It's not impossible, but I'd be surprised. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Are you as surprised as I am that Hrgovic is the replacement? Or maybe Frank is just looking to get Joe knocked off, and he's got so many heavyweights, and Joe is way down the pecking order as far as they're concerned. But we'll see. You know, let me know what you think. Comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button. Do all that stuff that I always talk about. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and I'll catch you later. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.